Hi, welcome to episode 59-ish of the Stress Knits podcast. I am Stacy, also known as Stacy Elstone on Instagram and Stress Knits on Ravelry. That was my pug puppy Esther, if you saw her run away. Hi. So I just recorded this and I told a very lengthy story about all of the medical stuff going on, but Esther was chewing a squeaky toy through the entire thing and it was really bothering me. So instead, I'm going to give you a much condensed version because I don't think you want to hear me ramble about my life for 30 minutes. But it felt really good to just say all of that out loud. So, all right. So it's been a while. And I just want to preface this beforehand that I went off the grid for a while. I was in a very deep funk, depression, awful times because of everything I'm about to tell you and everything I went through previously. If you don't care about my personal stuff, which is totally cool, not the episode for you because there's not a lot of knitting. And yeah, so just skip this. It's cool. There are other amazing podcasts out there. I know Candace of Pin Feathers and Pearls just put one up and I'm gonna watch that right after this because I haven't watched podcasts since like November. So, yeah, and I also want to start off with saying everything with Stress Knits Yarn, which has been the biggest cluster you know what because of my pregnancy. I'm pregnant, by the way. I'm 27 weeks, 3 days today. Yeah, so because of that and because of all the stuff I'm about to get into, I dropped the ball hard and I essentially shut down because some messages I was getting early on in this whole thing were not great and got called some names. It's fine, but I just want to let you know that one, I'm never doing pre-orders again because anytime that I get pregnant, I have pre-orders and then they fall to the wayside because I get really sick and then stuff goes wrong. So, never doing that again. The shop will reopen. I am making a website, which is why the Etsy shop is down. And if your order is still open, you will get your yarn. It's all ready to go. And I know I've said that like a million times, but it is all ready to go. I just was not in a place mentally or physically to do that. And again, I don't want to make excuses. I don't want a pity party. I don't want any of that because I understand it's super frustrating when you trust somebody with your money because you like what they do. And I'm so thankful for all of that, but it was a lot, and then piling on everything that I was going through, which I will get to in a second. But again, I don't want to make excuses. It was awful, horrible. I sucked. I get it. But I just kind of hope that we can kind of just let that stay in the past and understand that that's never going to happen again because I'm never going to put myself in that position again to where I can disappoint people. So it'll always be ready to ship. Always. Yeah. So I don't know. That's one of the reasons I haven't recorded a podcast besides not knitting because I've just felt really awful about it and it's been really weighing me down as a person because I don't like disappointing people and I don't like not following through on promises and just being horrible at something that I'm generally very good at. So with that, let's talk about why I was in such a bad place. So, for those of you who haven't followed the podcast for a while, I had a miscarriage in July of 2017. I was 16 and a half weeks along, came out of nowhere, worst experience of my life. So, yeah, so Doug and I, we got through that and then decided we really wanted a baby. So we got pregnant. Yeah, so that was really exciting. We found out in November. We found out almost right away because my body, I don't think my body was back to normal, because they say the best time to get pregnant after a miscarriage is the second you are cleared, which is 3 months of a normal cycle, which is a lot of information, but that's what they say. So because your hormones are still not, they're still not back to normal completely, so there's a little extra of your hormone, like pregnancy hormone, going on in your body, so it helps keep the pregnancy, which I really wanted. And then yeah, I don't know, I just really wanted a baby, and losing that baby made me realize how much I want to be a mom. So we talked about it, decided that's what we wanted to do, and it happened, and we feel incredibly lucky that it worked that easily. So yeah, I was doing okay for a while. My first pregnancy, I had the worst morning sickness ever. I was throwing up 1 to 2 times a day, and I thought it was the end of the world. That was a cakewalk compared to what I'm going through now. So starting around week 9, I got violently ill, and my morning sickness, I was throwing up 8-9 times a day. Lost 30 pounds in my first trimester. Had to go to the hospital a few times because of how much weight I was losing and how dehydrated I was. But it's also in flu season, so they wouldn't give me an IV because they were low on IVs. It was just the worst. So all that happened, and then the due date of our baby that we lost came up, which is January 7th, which is also our 1-year anniversary. So that was really hard. And then my oldest sister had her baby, and that was really exciting, but also really hard because our due dates were a few days apart from each other. So it was really difficult for me, but also one of the most exciting and magical days of my life, because I got my little nephew and I love him. And then and also before all that, I found out my other sister's pregnant, so like all 3 of us were pregnant for a little bit at the same time, which was really, really cool. And my sister that's pregnant still is due in June. I'm due in July. Super exciting. Sister-in-law is pregnant. Like, wonderful time. 2018 is like the year of the baby for my family, which is it's wonderful. But then I hit some medical issues. So I'm a high-risk pregnancy because I lost a baby in the 2nd trimester. I will always be a high risk. Like, I will always have high-risk pregnancies because of that, which is horrible, but also I'm kind of thankful for, because they monitor me really closely. So I was having doctor visits once to twice a week for a really long time, and then it went to every other week for a while. And now I'm on a normal person schedule where I go every 3 to 4 weeks, which is great. I haven't been to the doctor's office or the hospital in 2 weeks, and I feel like I'm living my life. So, yeah. Let's see, what is necessary for you to know? So high risk, we had some issues with some of my genetic testing. Tested positive for neural tube defects, which essentially means abdomen, brain, or spine didn't develop correctly and there's something wrong. But they can't find anything, so they think it was a false positive, which happens a lot. But that was weighing on us for a really long time, until like 20 weeks, when they finally got the full anatomy scan. And we found out about the neural tube defects probably around 14 weeks. So like, we knew about it for a really long time, and like trying to wait that long to be like, what's going on, was really difficult. So there's that. And then in February, I went to the hospital because I essentially lost feeling in my entire body. And by losing feeling, I mean I lost mobility. I did not lose feeling. I felt the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life, all over my body. It started in my wrist, and then the next day it was both my like entire arms, and then it moved to my legs, and then it moved to my neck, and then while I was at the hospital getting checked out, the left side of my face stopped working. So they were like, okay, it's either blood clots, a stroke, or something in your brain. So stayed there for a few days and saw a lot of specialists, had a lot of tests done. I had heart, chest x-rays, EKG, and ultrasounds of my neck and both my arms. They didn't find anything. They still think it was probably a mini stroke just because of the weird symptoms and because everything is essentially untraceable. They think that's what happened. They're not sure. They can't give me any definite answers. Great. So that was really hard. And then the big whammy that kind of sent me into a pretty rough place was that we found out because my levels of a certain hormone, I don't even know if it's a hormone, but something in my body was super high. They've never really seen it that high before. Me and the baby didn't really have a good outcome. They didn't think either of us were going to make it, and if we did, something with the baby would probably be severely wrong, and I might never be able to have kids again, which, I mean, in the scheme of things, that's not a big deal, and if me and the baby survived, I'm totally cool with just having one baby, but still hard. So I was given a 30% chance of survival. The baby was giving 40% chance of survival, and then so like we sat in that for a really long time because we were basically told like you're not going to meet your baby, or if you do, you're going to lose them pretty fast because you will probably have to deliver as early as 24 weeks, which is when it's finally like a viable pregnancy and they can live outside of your body, or shortly after. So give you an idea, I'm 27 weeks right now. Like, we'd have already gone through this. Luckily, nothing has had to happen yet. And those levels have gone down, which is really exciting. They're still a little high, but they're nowhere near what they were. So they think that, so I got kicked really early in my pregnancy at my job, which is one of the reasons I had to quit. And they think there was some kind of abruption and that caused my placenta to do stupid things, essentially. So, yeah, so they're like, we don't think it's gonna hurt the baby. The baby looks great. I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, and we finally got you look great, the baby looks great, everything looks perfect. Excuse me. Which is really exciting. So, yeah, that's what's been going on. And as you can imagine, dealing with being pregnant after a miscarriage is really hard. Watching people that you were pregnant with have babies is really hard. Morning sickness is garbage. I was essentially on bed rest for a few weeks because I couldn't function. I was literally just getting out of bed to throw up. I wasn't eating. It was awful. So there was that, and then being told that you're probably not going to meet your baby. The depression was real. So that's really why I shut down. I stopped talking to a lot of people. I stopped being active in the community. I stopped dyeing yarn because I was really nervous about chemical stuff. I'm not anymore. And I'm also really safe when I do it, so don't worry. I'm actually going to do it today, and I'm really excited because I have it in months. So, Esther, love, please don't eat my exercise ball. So, it's, hey, no. Yeah, so it's just, it was not the hardest thing I've ever been through because that was in July, but it was a very close second. And yeah, I just hope people understand that. Even if you're not like sympathetic towards it, or you don't feel like it's, I don't know, I don't really care, to be honest. I did what I needed to do to take care of myself and my baby, and I didn't handle it the best way. I know that. But now I feel more like myself. I am cleaning out our nursery, which is my craft room, my office. Yeah, because we didn't want to do it because we didn't know if we were going to bring a baby home. My baby shower is May 20th, and I didn't know if I wanted a baby shower because we didn't know if we were going to have a baby. Like, it's been the biggest roller coaster in the worst way possible, but we get to meet our little lady, and super excited. I was sitting on my legs, and now they're very much asleep because I am quite large, and body's not used to me sitting on my leg with that much weight. So, super fun. So yeah, that's what's been going on. And then, so being in, so having morning sickness made me unable to knit, which happened last time, not a big deal. And then once I started feeling up to knitting, depression really sat in, and I didn't really do anything. I started a sweater because I needed to be happy, essentially. So in my field bag, which needs to get washed because I put this on the desk and I'm assuming Doug spilled something on it. But, hi sweetie. Here, and try to eat my yarn. So I cast on a sweater when we found out it was a girl, and then we found out shortly after that that probably wasn't going to make it. So then this is Esther. Esther, say hi. Esther, say hi. Thank you, love. She's so sweet. Okay, so yeah, so I really kind of sunk into a depression. Hey. Hey. Okay. So yeah. Sorry, she's, hi. Yeah, so it's really, I just lost interest in everything. Please don't throw up on my foot. Yeah? Okay. She was eating a stick. And I think it got stuck. Okay. Really distracted. Okay. So, yeah, it's just been really hard. And I lost complete interest in everything that I love. So, I'm gonna try to, huge. So, yeah, but I started this. I might work on it today. I might start some new stuff. But it's just a baby vertebrae. Cute little sweater. It's a cardigan. I'm using my yarn in the My Jam colorway. I have a cute little Pugloaf stitch marker from Sucre Miniatures, size 4 signature needles. Yeah. So I might work on this. I don't know. I love it though. So there's that. And that's all the knitting I've done since November. But I do have stuff that I really would like to work on. And just want to talk about, because cleaning out my craft room to make way for the nursery, because our crib should be here starting next week. We're super excited. So this weekend, it's Saturday, so Doug works Saturday. His weekend is Sunday, Monday, because he works at a church. Yeah, so we might go paint shopping. There was a time where we thought we were moving on top of all of this because we really want to be in a house, but it is not a buyer's market at the moment. Yeah, it's just been awful. So, yeah, but I am like touching yarn again. It doesn't make me sad. It makes me really happy. So I'm just gonna show you some skeins that I love. This is a project bag from the Fawn the Fox, Laura. Esther love. She's trying to eat my quilt that I'm working on. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite bags of all time. One, because Laura made it, and I love her. I wish either I lived on the other side of the United States or she lived on the other side of Canada so that I could go visit her and Candace, because I feel like that would be fun. But yeah, and it's Rifle Paper Company. I love it, and the inside is favorite color. So, I have some skeins I'm really excited about. First things first. I know, Esther really likes yarn. First things first is Knit Picks Felici in the teacup colorway, which I fell in love with when it was released, but I didn't buy any because, like a doofus, I thought it was gonna come back when they relaunched Felici again, because they like the rainbow color is usually in there, and so is like Beyond the Wall and like stuff like that. So I was thinking, this is a really popular colorway, there's no way it's gonna go away, and it went away. So I got this on a D-stash in like November, and yeah, Opera Joe. Joanna, Opera Joe, is knitting a pair of socks for Candace's Stripey Sock Cal out of these, and it's making me really want to knit them. So that is Teacup. It's the best Felici colorway of all time. Super excited that I got my hands on it. And then, hi. I was looking through my stash, and oh, go get it. Sorry, Esther is, she gets a little whiny when I don't play with her and I'm talking to something, especially if other people aren't here. She doesn't like when I talk. So like if I'm on the phone or if I'm doing this, she gets really upset because I'm not paying attention to her. So, yeah, so I was looking through my stash, and one skein kept jumping out at me, and this is something Kemper gave me in a care package, and I am obsessed. So it is the Daphne colorway on her plush MCN fingering, and it's just this beautiful bright mint, and there are these beautiful, like, speckles are just, I love it. So I don't know if I want to knit socks. I'm kind of in a shawl mood, which is weird because I don't know, I'm in the mood to knit another Find Your Fade, but I'm also in the mood to knit a multicolored, like, Stephen West shawl, but I'm not sure which one. I don't know. A part of me is thinking Vertices Unite, and just because it's all very color blocked, and I think that might be a lot of fun, and just play with color and stuff in my stash and all my leftovers. And so how awesome is this toy? It's a little love bus. Yeah, so I don't know, but I just kind of want to work on something mindless that I can play with color, just because I've been so sad lately, and all the color, like all the stuff that I want to work on, like for the baby, is pink and gray for the most part. There are other colors too, but yeah. So I think the next sweater that I cast on for the baby is going to be a Flax Light, because I think every baby needs one. And I have a skein of Woolen Boon in Buffy, which is gorgeous, and I think I'm going to do what Laura did and do Seed Stitch, so that might be a thing, but that's what this is going to be. And then This baby is so special for so many reasons. And I don't know, I just kind of want to give her the world because for a while, I didn't think I was going to get to meet her. And even before we got the test results, just in the back of my mind, knowing my body didn't like me being pregnant and was still, I don't know, it just, my body doesn't like being pregnant. And the first time was a miscarriage because of it, and then this time it's just been nothing but heartbreak because of it. So I want to make her something super special. And I'm kind of thinking her of as like my unicorn baby. She's so stupid, but she's so special. And there is one skein of yarn that's been in my stash since I was in college. So this is like 3-year-old stash. It smells so good. This is a Volanvine yarn skein on her Blitzed Base, the Jilted Rose colorway, which is my favorite color of all time, but I don't think she's dyeing it anymore, which breaks me because it is the most, oh God. It looks so large and I kind of love it. But it's the most beautiful skein of yarn ever. But I think I'm going to knit her a Nilla the Unicorn using this held double. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So, yeah. I'm gonna give her my most special skein and make her something that hopefully she loves for a really long time. Yeah, so I think that's literally it. I don't know, I might dye some yarn for myself, and do a shawl. I don't know what I want to do. Because I feel like my knitting mojo's coming back, but I don't know what I want to work on. I don't want to work on any of the socks that are on my needles right now. I have an eyeball shawl on the needles that I do not want to touch. I just don't want to touch anything that reminds me of stuff that happened months ago. I don't want to touch it. I want new things. I want new things that make me happy. So I don't know. I think I really want to knit a giant shawl that plays with color. So I might do another Find Your Fade. I might, thought about the Marley shawl. I don't know what I want to make. I also wanted a bunch of sweaters, but I am pregnant and my weight's really wonky right now. And then after I give birth, I'm in a wedding in October. Esther, love, honey, I know you want to play with the dog, but don't break the window. I need to wrap this up. So, I'm at a wedding in October, and one of my best friends, she just, like, killed it and lost so much weight and feels so good. And it's not, like, I feel like I need to lose weight, but I would like to get my body back and feel like I'm in control of my life after I have this baby. So she's gonna help me with that. And I don't think I want to knit a large garment until I feel good. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But yeah, so thank you for listening to my rambly self. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for supporting me. Esther, babe. Hey. Don't do that. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And again, I'm sorry for everything. So I will hopefully see you in the next week or two with some knitting. And just, yeah, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.